the suffering of the Great Depression and the loss of confidence in government and other traditional institutions as a response to the government's lack of meaningful response made a deep impact in the area of art and literature as well. It is this era that produces John Steinbeck's phenomenal novel, The Grapes of Wrath, telling the story of Tom Joad and family, Dust Bowl farmers who seek a new life in California, and all their sufferings of people along the way. A novel that really emphasizes the need for people to band together and sort of try to take hold of their own destiny, and the utter failure of the institutions in place to provide safety, security, and a decent life for people. It emphasizes this collective working together so much that some conservative voices of the time criticized the book and even tried to ban the book as being communist propaganda. Whatever Steinbeck's political sympathies are, though, it is a work of great literature, and you'll walk away from that feeling as if you know these people personally, as if you've experienced it personally. And then the book is adapted into a film in 1940. So the next video you'll see on the playlist is a little spotlight on The Grapes of Wrath, followed by, get you a little bit of culture, followed by a more contemporary song, which is about the Grapes of Wrath, inspired by the Grapes of Wrath, called The Ghost of Tom Joad, by Rage Against the Machine. My goodness, it's a cover song, and I've forgotten, oh my goodness, I've forgotten who originally released the song. I'm clearly grotesquely unqualified to be making this video. But anyway, you'll hear Rage Against the Machine raging on through the ghost of Tom Joad. After that, you'll take a look at the film Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, starring Jimmy Stewart, which is it's a fictional account of just an everyday citizen who decides he's had enough of the disinterest and the failure of government, so he's going to make change from the inside, and he makes his way all the way up into Congress. You should definitely watch that film. No, I don't have a full movie on the playlist, but I do have a short spotlight of the film, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, after which you'll hear the Depression-era song, Brother, Can You Spare Me a Dime, as performed by Bing Crosby. After that, I wanted to throw this in there. It doesn't really fit Great Depression, but it certainly does fit the era. It's a short spotlight on Vice President Charles Curtis. He was Herbert Hoover's vice president. He's also a Native American, the first Native American, or the first person of any non-white background to serve as Vice President of the United States. So there's a 4-minute spotlight on him. And then this lesson will conclude with the Crash Course U.S. History video on the Great Depression, where John Green will summarize everything you've read and watched. And I will be back with you next time. I will be back with you next time. On the other side of the Great Depression Crash Course, that ends the lesson, but there is a little bit of bonus content. A 30-minute video from Mr. Beat. It's not part of the lesson. You may skip it if you wish, but I advise you don't. A more thorough and fair portrait of Herbert Hoover, which, we walk away from this really, really with a low opinion of Herbert Hoover, and he does seem by the consensus of historians to be an incredibly ineffective president, but he was also not a bad person. And so the video is called The Terrible President Who Saved Millions of Lives, after which is, I hinted at this before, an alternate perspective on Hoover and the Great Depression from PragerU, arguing contrary to the consensus that perhaps Hoover had the right idea after all. You don't need to share that perspective, but it is good to hear hear different perspectives. And then I will be back with you for the next lesson on the New Deal. Why haven't I stopped recording yet? I got nothing more to say. Why haven't I hit this button yet?